To start off with, I am actually going to start off with registering for the website. And if you need these website links, feel free to email me or Karen, Sylvia, or Sarah, and we can give you these links. But this is the link up here, northcarolinacompassstudy.org/unique registration. And like Karen and Sarah and Sylvia have been saying in the past, we do want not only the team leads to get registered for the website, but also all the frontline staff as well. But this is the link, and all you have to do is just type in your first name, last name, email address, and what hospital you are affiliated with, and then your role onto the study, and you just think of a password and you hit register. And I always thought it took about 24 hours for you to get that access, but according to Andrea Comfer, who is our research coordinator and who is I guess the team lead over the website development, she actually said you get access right then within a split second. So there's not like a 24-hour window anymore. So once you hit register, you are already registered for it. So I will go ahead and go to the home screen, which is right here, and that is northcarolinacompassstudy.org. So I am on the public-facing website, and as you all know, we do have a private-facing website. So we do want all of you guys to get registered so you guys can get access to all of the resources. So I will just log in. I just registered, so I will go ahead and log in real quick if my internet will get faster. All right, so I am actually about to log in right now. It'll take it a minute. Sorry, guys. So this is actually what you will see once you log in. And so, of course, your name would come up and your account will come up. So this is when you click on your account, you can actually change your email address. You can change your password. You can change your name, your title, any of your, I guess, background information. You can go to your account and you can change it that way. But to get back to the home screen, you can either choose home or choose this compass icon, which I'm going to do that real quick. And so we will get to the home screen. And so the home screen is actually now one of my favorite pages. And that's because we have added a lot more functionality to it, which hopefully it will keep you guys engaged. But we would like for you to come to our website on a daily basis because you guys will now have access to how many patients are currently enrolled into the study. And as you can see here on the right-hand side, we have around 2,700 patients enrolled. And of course, it grows daily. It grows by the second. So I just think that's really cool that we can actually see that now, and you guys are able to see that live. Another cool thing that we have added to our website is that we do have a Twitter account, and so we encourage all of you, if you guys have Twitter, to please follow us, and we are actually following all the home health agencies as well. So so we would like to follow you personally. So let's just say Jane and Norray, if you guys do another educational webinar for us, we would kind of tweet your name and we can tag you to it and also put the webinar in. So we definitely want all of you guys to follow us on Twitter. So I will quickly go to our Twitter account. And we actually post on a daily basis. Both our project manager, Misha Sassine, and our project coordinator, Andrea, they both update this and they tweet all the time. And so every time we have a presentation, this gets shown up there as well. So if you look at our followers, we want to increase our following base. So by all means, please follow us, but we are following a bunch of renowned doctors, and they're following us as well. Let's see. Let's go to following. We're following Gentiva, Beata, and so when we do follow you, we are able to kind of mention you into our Twitter. So that is why we not only want your hospital or your Compass affiliated hospital or your home health or outpatient agency to follow us, but we would like for you, if you have a personal Twitter account, we would like for you to follow us as well so we can give you a shout out on the daily. So back to our homepage. So we also put every time we have our presentation or something cool that our principal investigators are doing, we like to splash that on the front page. So if you look here at the screen, one of our co-principal investigators, Dr. Bushnell, actually did a Facebook Live video on the Wake Forest Baptist Health's Facebook page. And so we would like for you on your spare time, we would like for you guys to check that out. But like I said, I think the home page is probably one of the coolest pages now just because it is live with our number of our patients enrolled, and you do get what's going on 24/7 around the study because it's going to be posted on our Twitter, and we do have like cool, really cool happenings happening on the home page. So is there any questions about the home page before I move on to Karen? And I actually also forgot one thing. I'm looking here at my notes, but we actually now have a YouTube channel. So I am here on YouTube, and if I go here to the search bar and I put in North Carolina Compass Study, right here pops up our YouTube channel. And so we like to post our different webinars on here. As you can see, we do have our therapist video. We do have our video about our ECare app that we presented to a competition in Pittsburgh. And so we will also put Jane and Nora Ray's presentation on here. And so we would like for you to check out our YouTube channel as well. So is there any questions about the homepage or Twitter or YouTube before I give the reins over to Karen? Nope. Okay, I hear cricket, so I'll give it to you, Karen.
All right. Well, mine isn't quite as flashy and interesting as Rika's, but we're going to go to the About section first, and Rika's driving for me because she's a better website driver. So the first thing under here that I want you guys to take note of is all of us on the implementation team, all of our contact information is here. So it's a way you can easily access our email and our office phones and even our cell numbers. So, and speaking for myself, I don't think anybody else is opposed to it either. You know, I would certainly try to pick up my cell number so that if you have a question, I can get back to you quickly. Now, I will forewarn you that if I don't have your contact information in my phone, leave me a message because I'll screen all those annoying spam kind of people. But this is really good information for anybody you might need to get pretty quickly if you're doing a training session and you have a question or you have a patient question, just so you guys know that all that information is there accessible to you.
And now also, Karen, sorry, I just want to add one thing. And I also think it's cool because I know some of you guys haven't met me or some of you guys haven't met, you know, our project manager or, you know, even Sylvia because you probably couldn't come to the site visit. So I think it's really cool that you get to now see a face with a name.
Absolutely. So if we move down below that, we also have our research team listed. Now, you may have less need for this on a daily basis, but this gives you a better sense of who is leading this whole study and project. And so obviously Dr. Duncan is on there as the principal investigator, and then Dr. Bushnell and Wayne Rosamond as the co-investigators. And then the row below that are additional co-investigators. So just mostly for your own information. And then Sarah and Christina are on there as the lead APPs for the study. Not that you'll necessarily need to contact those folks, but it's there. And then moving down below that is a study overview, and I do think this is a nice tool, especially if you're going to introduce this to your, to your therapist or to your agency, and you just want to have a very succinct way to kind of lay out what the whole structure of the study is. So we've got our first layout of how you guys are you're in blue in this first year of intervention hospitals. So there are 20 of those plus our Vanguard site, and then the 20 usual care hospitals. Now, and then the fact that at the end of summer we will be flipping over to you guys beginning to self-sustain and the usual care flipping over to intervention. And so you can just see the timeline for the whole study there. And then the links to the study abstract, all of that's there. It goes over eligibility. So again, anyone with a TIA, hemorrhagic, or ischemic stroke who is discharged directly home is included in there. And then down below that, it has kind of the basics of the whole scope of the intervention and what people go through. And then below that, it's listing what we're looking at for outcomes and how we engage folks. So I just think it's a nice, in case you feel like you know what you're doing, but you want a little bit of backup to kind of run people through it, it's a nice little tool to have right there. And then what Rika has moved on to now is just basic stroke facts and figures. I don't think a lot of people need convincing about why this is an important study and the number of people who are impacted by stroke. But again, it's just got some good definitions of what of TIA and ischemic and hemorrhagic strokes. It's got kind of information on the stroke bells and signs and symptoms of stroke. So it's just got some nice basic facts. If you don't have those at your fingertips and you would like to have that to incorporate into a presentation to staff or anything like that, all that is right there for you. And then at the bottom, we have our references and some links there for you. So again, not stuff you necessarily need in your day-to-day, but just some basic information that's helpful in training. So I'm going to flip it back over to Rika to talk to you about the patient and caregiver section.
All right. So I'm now going to just go over the patient and caregiver tab. And so I know some of you guys are aware of our community resource directory, but just in case those who haven't used it, I will just do a small little demonstration of it. So our community resource directory is actually housed in a big database here at Wake Forest Baptist Health, and we probably have about 800 community resources in the database that then feeds into this website that you see, this web page, and it also feeds into the care plan. So the list is continuing to grow. We probably get resources from our different PACs on a regular basis. So you guys, if I'm missing a community resource and you don't see it on this website, definitely feel free to email me and I will put it on the website. We probably have like a 3-man team here at Wake Forest trying to input every single community resource throughout North Carolina, so we can definitely use your help with that. But if you look here at the community resource directory, and just for short, I would just call it CRD, but we actually have 2 search components, I guess you can say. You can search here, which is the general search here, as you can see where my cursor is. Well, actually, you can't see my cursor, never mind. I have it on clean view, but where I highlighted search, that's one of the search functions you can use. Or you can go up here to organization name and program type, and that's another way you can search. So let's just say, for example, I just wanted to search all the community resources in Charlotte. I can go right here to this search toolbar, and I can type in Charlotte. And as you can see, it gives me all of the community resources that I have in Charlotte. And as you can see down here, there's actually 3 pages of it. However, if you want to get more detailed, so say, for example, I want some community resources in Charlotte, but I just want to see the transportation resources. So I can go up here to the advanced filter and put in Charlotte as a city. And then for the program type, I can put in, let's just say I'm looking for transportation, so I can type in transportation. So I didn't need to type it all the way because the search filter reads the first 5 letters, but as you can see, transportation comes up. But say I want to see some outpatient rehab within Charlotte or outpatient rehabilitation. So as you can see, all of the outpatient rehabilitation comes into the CRD within Charlotte. So you can either put in, you can also put in the zip code, if you want to search by the organization name, but just in general, if you don't know the names and you just want to, I need to know the outpatient rehabs in Charlotte, you can definitely use a filter like I did, and it gives you all of that. So does anyone have any questions before I show you how to input a community resource in? Any questions? Okay. So like I said before, this community resource list is definitely growing, and there's some resources throughout North Carolina that aren't even here into the website yet. So that is where we would like your help with. We would like for you to tell us about that. So when you go here to this community resource directory and then you scroll down, there is actually this link, add a community resource to the directory. And so I'm actually going to go through how you can input a community resource for us. So we want you to give us the name of the community resource. So I'm just going to do a little test one here, but let's just say YMCA, our local YMCA. So So we actually have a lot of YMCAs here in Winston, but I'm actually just going to go with one. And so we want you guys to give us not only the name of the resource, but maybe if it's under a larger umbrella. So the organization that the YMCA will be affiliated with for Winston is YMCA of Northwest North Carolina. So I'm actually going to type that in. Okay, and if there's not, I guess, a host name or umbrella name for your resource, you can definitely leave that blank. And so we want you to tell us just what categories does your resource fit under. So I did do research for the Innovation Quarter YMCA here in downtown Winston, and they do have chronic disease management programs. They do have programs for diabetes. They, of course, have a fitness center, but it's also a place, they do have programs for senior citizens for falls prevention as well. So we just want you to go through this list and check all the ones that your resource entails. So we want you to put the URL in there. So this is our website, the Innovation Quarter website. So I'm just going to copy and paste that real quick. And paste, and then we want you to give the phone number with the area code first. So I'll do that real quick. Okay, and then of course we want you guys to give us the street address and the city and state and zip code. And so when you come down here, we do want you to give us the county that your community resource serves, and that can be one county or it can be throughout all of North Carolina. But we did break it out into the different regions of North Carolina, the mountain region, Piedmont region, coastal region. So this YMCA only serves Forsyth County, so I'm just going to click on Forsyth County. So, and then once that happens, I can hit on submit. And so I'll just hit on submit real quick. And it actually shows you when you don't fill in some of the questions. So I'm actually just going to quickly fill that in. Okay, so let's see, make sure I got everything. And I think I did get everything, so I'm just going to hit submit. And so that is actually, so you get this, hey, you're awesome, thank you for your submission. So this actually feeds back into our database here at Wake Forest. And so it gives us about 2 weeks and it will be put on the website. But that is how a community resource gets put on the website. So, and then once it's on the website, of course, it will also be displayed on the care plan for the patients as well. So does anyone have any question about the CRD and how to tell us about a resource? And by all means, if you do have a very lengthy resource that is really complex, you can just shoot it off in an email to me as well. But the quickest way will be to do it through that link. So does anyone have any questions? Do you want me to say this all over again just in case?
We're going to run a little short on time, so we better keep rolling.
Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay.
We're paying attention, though. We caught that.
Okay, so I will just go over to the hospitals and providers tab, and I know you guys have seen this many times already, so I will just go through a brief overview of this, but just keep in mind if you do not register for the website, you actually will not see this hospital and providers tab. You will see the tab, but you will not see this drop-down menu, and so we do want you to see this menu, so that's why we do want you to register so you can get access to all of our resources within the study. So of course, one thing I want to bring to your attention is our boot camp training manual. So whenever a hospital is about to launch, we bring them over to Wake Forest with all the other hospitals and we do a 2-day boot camp and we give them a whole training manual. So you guys do have access to that and you can just see just what our PAC has to go through and all of that jazz. And so we actually provide helpful hints and checklists for the hospitals just to kind of help them launch, just to make sure it's as smooth as possible. And we do have a home help checklist as well, and I'll click on that, which you guys have seen many a times as well. So, and I know Jane and Norray did an educational webinar last month, and they really did a good job revising it and really catering it to their hospital. So,
and so you guys remember, things may be listed under multiple tabs. It's, just so you know, if you like to go to it one place, that's fine. Like it's listed again, just so you know.
yeah, definitely. So I'll do an overview of these two big icons here, and I've shown you this before, but I'll just go ahead and give you a refresher. So when a stroke patient has had a stroke and they're going to be discharged home, before discharge, they do get this discharge folder. And I will click on that real quick. Okay, so they do get this blood pressure log and they do get a blood pressure handout. And so just an FYI to you guys, this is a blood pressure log, and we do encourage you to go and print off this log too, because it actually is not, when you look at this log, it actually only has a certain number of slots to check your blood pressure. So it's not like a year-long blood pressure log, but we do want the patient to check the blood pressure on a daily basis for more than a year. So that's why I encourage you to get access to the website so you can come here and print off the log and also give it to the patient as well.
Yeah, because you know how people lose things.
Yes. Let's see. I think I lost my spot here. Okay, so there's a blood pressure log. And then, of course, the patient does get a brochure giving information about the COMPASS study. So I will just go here. I will click on mission since I know Jane and Norray are here on this call. But this is the information, the brochure, the newsletter that the patient gets on discharge, just giving them details on the different checkpoints about the COMPASS study. That they will get a 2-day phone call, a clinic visit, 30 and 60-day call. And we do make this brochure unique to the hospital. And so we actually put the hospital's logo on there as well. And I think that's pretty cool. And so not only will they get that, but they do get this roadmap to recovery, which is also something that I like. It is a magnet, and it provides information about the different checkpoints. And so the PAC, the post-acute coordinator, is able to put their name and the telephone number, and the patient is able to just, slap this on the refrigerator, and they can see it on a daily basis. Let's see here. Let me go back to my screen. Okay, and then last but not least, our PACs do give the patients their appointment card, and Gail Wooten is actually our PAC here at Wake Forest, but we do make these business cards unique to the PAC. So, of course, the PAC admission, it will either say Melissa Hanrahan or Debbie Stamey. And on the back, it will give, we encourage the PAC to put the appointment date and time of the clinic visit as well. So is there any questions about that before I move on? Okay, so once the patient gets discharged, as you know, we want them to come back into our clinic 7 to 14 days after discharge. So I'm just going to briefly run through this since you guys have already seen this many a times before. But after the clinic visit, the patient does get a ECare plan, but we encourage the PACs to give them additional information that's kind of unique to them. So say, for example, this patient has atrial fib. We do have an educational resource in there for the PAC to give to the patient, and it's just providing more information about how to control your AFib. And so we also have other resources such as if a patient has high cholesterol, if they need therapy, we got a Movement Matters documents. And this is also helpful for you as the therapist or the home health nurse as well, because, you know, whenever you go see a patient for the first time and you have the care plan, maybe they didn't get this educational document on AFib. So this is something that you can definitely go into and print this off yourself and give it to the patient at their home. You know, we definitely don't want this to be only for the PACs to use. We encourage you to use these documents as well and to also give it to the patients as well.
Rita, can I interrupt just a sec?
Yes, you may.
And you guys may already realize this, but right here under the under this part, anywhere where you say see for patients, so that is written as a patient-facing document. Under providers, there are also documents that are written with a slant towards providers. So be sure if you are wanting to use some of these, that you print the appropriate one that's guided towards your patient and not towards a provider. Okay,
Yes.
There's just not all of them are written both ways, but some of them have different slants.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Karen. So under that hospital and providers tab, I did just click on the ECare application. So before I move on to the ECare app, is there any questions with the resources and documents? I know that that section's probably, you guys are well versed in that since we show that quite frequently. So here's the information about the ECare app, and so just a brief overview of the ECare plan and why it's important. And so if you do want to see an example of a care plan, because the feedback we get from our home health agencies is that they haven't seen a care plan yet. They don't know what one looks like. So you can definitely click on here, and we do give you just a blanket e-care plan example. And so if you guys want to see just the process of the eligibility and enrollment process, you guys are more than welcome to come here as well, and we do provide you the information on how a patient gets screened before they are discharged from the hospital to be enrolled into the study, and just the different questions that we go through with them to enroll them. And then, of course, at the 7 to 14-day clinic visit, as you know, our patients go through a post-stroke functional assessment, a stroke caregiver assessment, an advanced practice provider assessment. So that is actually listed right here. So feel free to check out these questions as well. And just keep in mind that the responses from these questions, the patient responses, they do drive the care plan. So we definitely encourage you to check out these assessments just so you can see how our ECare plan is built and what gets incorporated as far as resources. So after the clinic visit, our patient does get a phone call from the post-acute coordinator within 30 days and within 60 days. And we basically just want to know if they've been checking their blood pressure. Do they know their blood pressure? Have they been using the community resources that's been on the care plan? And so we do provide training for our post-acute care coordinators on this ECare app, on the test site before we do launch them to launch the study in the hospital. So we do provide a test site for them, and we show them also how to share the care plan with outside providers like yourselves, pharmacists, home health agencies, therapists, rehab providers. And so we do show them how to get started, and just we give them a very intense training with how to use the application so they can generate the care plan and give it to you guys. So I know you guys will not be using the ECare app, but you are more than welcome to still come here to this tab just so you can see what our post-acute coordinators and our advanced practice providers go through before the patient gets to you guys. So that's why I feel like it's important for me to share this with you. So is there any questions on the ECare application before I turn it over to Karen?
No.
Okay, thanks, Karen.
Nope, sorry, that wasn't me.
Oh, that
But I
wasn't?
think you're
Okay.
hanging with us.
I thought it was.
No. So we are now under the study webinars and training videos section. So I don't know that Rika wants to hit play on this, but this first one, this Compass Care Model, is just a short little snazzy video. Rika, did you do this one?
Yeah, I did this one.
And so it's just, again, a nice little snapshot if you want to give someone an introduction to Compass and just kind of a basic overview. It's a pretty, catchy way to do that, and it's only 2 minutes, 41 seconds. So that is there for you. And then what's listed underneath that is a video that Nisha produced for us in-house. So that you can see right there, that's Megan O'Brien, one of our therapists from here at Baptist. And then Amy was there that day. Basically, Dr. Duncan does an intro for us. Amy shows how to take a correct blood pressure and look at vital signs. And then Megan works with two different patients who had different types of strokes and different levels of recovery. And we run them through some basic Otago exercises and some ways to adapt life into their ADLs. So while it's a fairly lengthy video, it's probably about 30 to 40 minutes. Rika, would you say in length? I'm not sure you can see this.
Yeah.
But you can clip through the different segments and try to sort of catch parts. You don't have to watch it all, and it's pretty easy to sort of flip through. So it would be, if you have a therapist that may be having difficulty wrapping their mind around how you do this with a certain person, or you just want a little bit of visual example, it's a nice tool to have. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. All right. So, and then underneath, I don't think you guys really need, Rika, is there anything you'd want to say about that? I don't think the stretch goal stuff's really applicable for what they need on a regular basis. So let's move on to the home health and outpatient therapy section, which really has the bulk of the information that I think you guys probably go to on a regular basis. So I know we have thrown it in your face tons of times, the training grid, the training letter. A relatively new addition is the training log. Rika, do you want to click on that?
Yeah.
Amy Pasca created this for us. You don't have to use this, but if you don't have an internal tracking tool for training your staff, this is just kind of a nice generic tool that that Amy created for us, so that it could help you track the webinars that your staff has done. And we just view it as a way to help us see who all has done training and help you guys keep track of making sure you're bringing everybody along with this train the trainer model. Is it taking a little while to download?
Yeah. Well, we'll move on and wait till it's
for the sake of time, we've only got about less than 20 minutes left, so we'll move on. But I think it would, if you had any trouble downloading it, just let us know and we could shoot it to you by email. But I think it should load up fine for you. But so those are just some training tools to help you know everything that your folks do need to see. And then can you actually go back up just a little bit, Rika?
Oh, yeah.
So the next section is the Compass Training Webinar section, so you can see the link to AHEC. So all of those are not truly housed on our site. You have to go to the AHEC link to access those. So you do need to be able to log in. You have to register yourself on AHEC to log in there. But then you will have access to those. And those are the those are the ones that are listed in the training grid that we ask everybody to take, okay? And again, those are segmented. You don't have to do them all at once. And you can print certificates of completion and everything from that. So not going to spend a lot of time on that today, except to say that it's less than it's like an hour and 20 minutes of total viewing time. So it's not. I know people get frustrated. It's yet another thing you want me to do, but it really gives a succinct picture of how we want people to focus their care for patients, and it really does not take a super long time. Okay, so and just down below here are links to other resources. So for all the Otago resources, these are links like to the UNC website. Rika, if you want to, can you just click on the tools for implementation of the Otago exercise program? Perfect. So you'll see that redirects you to the UNC Med website, and then this is just a printable PDF. It's the full Otago manual. So if for some reason in your agency you like to have a paper copy of things, you can print that out and have it available for folks, okay? And then going back, we have the same types of links. I think in our initial training, I told you guys that the life manual, the participant manual was available free, but you had to pay for the trainer manual. Those are both actually available free and linked through our website. And then all of the GRASP resources for your occupational therapist to work on upper extremity recovery. All of that will link you to Janice Ng's Neuro Rehab website out of University of British Columbia. And all of that is also available for free and printable there, okay? And then down below that, we've just put links on there to the CDC, all of their work in developing the STEADY toolkit, which is also all available. And then what she's scrolling through kind of rapidly there are just links to, no, it's okay, functional assessment tools, just to make sure. I think everybody, tries to practice in an evidence-based manner, but we've just put links to some specific tools that we tend to use here, and that like CATS, Amy really likes to use there at Duke for ADL. So, these are not things that are required by the study by any means, but just in case you don't feel like you have ready access to some of those links, we've tried to kind of make a clearinghouse for you so that you have easy access to that. And then at the very bottom is just, again, resource links for you to like the CDC, the American Heart Association, and Stroke Association. So all of those, any of those links you can go to pursue further information. Okay, so let me stop there and just ask if anybody has any specific questions. Okay, so for you, Robert, all of our mission folks are a little farther along than you guys will be for Wilkes, but this is really kind of the heart of where you're going to want to get everybody kind of working on getting trained up. So that'll be an important area for you to feel comfortable with, okay? All right, so I think we will flip over. We're almost done, I promise. We're going to flip over to community engagement last, and Rika and I are just going to kind of tag team on this one. So Rika's going to hit first with stakeholder engagement.
Yeah, so just want to let you know that we do, if I scroll down here to the bottom, we do have pictures of our different stakeholders who have been very involved in our study from the startup and even onto implementation and now sustaining the study. But you can get to know our stakeholders. They're our consultants. They've definitely, we've went to them for input, on our Movement Matters materials, on the ECare plan, just different things that we have engaged them with. And we have, as you can see, Sylvia Coleman is on here. She has been very instrumental, and she's our director of implementation. But we also have the president and founder of the Minority Women's Health Project. She actually was a stroke survivor herself, and she has been very instrumental in helping us with this study. And also Betsy Vetter, patient advocate, but she's also the regional vice president for the American Heart Association. And so we also have just representatives from the Area Agency on Aging. We even have pharmacist from UNC School of Medicine, Dr. Doyle Cummings, as well. So you can just see that our stakeholders are all spread out through the different parts of North Carolina. We do have our physician consultant, Dr. Jackie Holliday, there at UNC, and we also have our I guess you can say our specialist on caregiver, Dr. Barbara Lutz from UNCW as well. So I just like this page because we're actually showing that we've had outside people being very involved in our study, not just our study team members, but people who don't even know anything about research, just the layperson like Gladys Lundy or a pharmacist or a physician. They have really just been instrumental in the startup of our study and even ongoing now. So that's about all I have for this stakeholder page. Do you have anything, Karen or Sylvia, since I know you've been
I
involved
think
with
Sylvia might want to
stakeholders?
make a comment towards that. Yeah, I just want to thank you, Rita. I just wanted to add that Gladys has now been, she has received an award by President Obama for her
What?
work.
What? Oh my God, that's
Yes.
amazing.
And so we need to get the official title of that and flash Gladys a little bit more. And then also Betsy Vedder, in addition to the work she does for American Heart, American Stroke, her husband actually had a stroke. And as much as she knew about stroke, when she found herself in the caregiver role, it was very, very different. And, she became the wife and the caregiver. And so she has become a really strong caregiver advocate in addition to what she does on a professional basis for American Heart, American Stroke. So I just wanted to mention those two highlights as well. We need to put even more about them on our website.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. And I'm supposed to be talking about this segment, but honestly, this is not one that I use a ton. Rika, do you have anything you want to point out on here? It does have all the contacts for the Area Agency on Aging, which can be super helpful. And then this is the area that also has some stuff for Faith Health referrals. But aside from that, Rika, what else would you like to point out on there?
I think the page that they will be more interested in, this is just mostly the background of the Community Resource Network. Just while we formed them, there was just gaps within community resource gaps, from a patient leaving the hospital and they're not knowing what to do for self-management. So we decided to establish the Community Resource Network. And so this is just basically the background of it. But I think the page that you guys will be interested in is the community resource networks throughout North Carolina within all of our hospitals. So I would just get to that page right now. And so I'm actually going to pull one. Let's pull Mission since Mission is here. But this is Mission's community resource network, and as you can see, it entails not only the PAC and the APP, but it also entails pharmacists, and we even have a representative from an aphasia group. And so, just transportation, pharmacists, outpatient rehab providers. This is what just kind of entails the Mission Community Resource Network. And so I can also go to, let's see.
Go to Wilkes too, so we can give Robert some love too. And
Okay.
before you move away, I know that Jane and Norrie and I think Laura, you two were in and out of Mission. Are your pictures on? I'm not close enough to where I can see, but were you guys in that picture?
Norrie and I.
Which one? Yeah, she and Laura. Yeah, that's what I thought. So that's pretty cool there. There you are, right on the website. And some really good work was done on those days when you guys helped us figure out what resources you had in your communities, where there might be gaps, who to connect other people with. So, a bulk of work was done that day, but the need to continue any ongoing work, these are kind of your key point people on how to, if you identify gaps as you go on, who to think about as problem solvers to kind of move forward with closing some of those gaps.
Yeah, and Sylvia, do you have anything you want to add about community resource networks? Because I know you were instrumental about forming these, and do you have,
Yeah, well, the only thing is in addition to what you and Karen have said, is that these are core groups of leaders in each of the intervention hospital communities, that they are certainly not the whole community resource network, but they are key leaders that know a lot about the community and certainly collaborate to expand out and pull in others that will be instrumental in building out the community resource network, and also folks that will be good at identifying any gaps if something is not available in a community, and working together to either fill the gap by creating something similar in the community or collaborating with another community. You know, particularly in the far eastern North Carolina and far western North Carolina, that's what we have to do. We have to share resources across counties because there just aren't enough to have the same resource in each county. So they're pretty invaluable, and we very much appreciate the work that they do together on behalf of patients and caregivers in their areas and in the region.
so I think that is all that me and Karen have on the website. Do you have anything, Karen? Is there any questions?
No, I think we've run you through the basics of everything. Hopefully that if you haven't gotten super familiar with it already, that gives you a little bit more comfort level. Do any of you guys have anything specific, and if you don't feel comfortable bringing that up today, you certainly now know how to get to our personal contact information if you need some help moving along with anything.
And
so hopefully you guys found that somewhat helpful. I don't know.
And follow us on Twitter. And if you don't follow us, and I'm going to personally find you and follow you on Twitter. I'll find your name.
Rika, you're such a stalker.
With an instruction booklet on how to do Twitter. This is
maybe if you could. I need one of those too.
Who asked that question?
Naray.
Oh, hey, Naray. I will personally email you and set you up a Twitter account. How about that? So then every time we have an educational webinar with you and Jane hosting it, I will give a shout out to you.
Yeah, Naray will represent both of us.
He's going to drag all us oldies into the technological age whether we want to or not.
Right.
Thank you for that. This is very comprehensive.
I think we're done unless you guys have any other comments or questions.
Yeah.
Sarah, I don't know if you're still on or not, but Sarah, do you have anything to add or just to bring up with this group?
I'm still here. No, you guys covered it well. It's one of those, it's also just, it is easy to navigate. So once you get on there, you'll find your way. But it's a wonderful overview that you guys prepared and video to start it off. So thank you guys.